Hello and welcome to another edition of Helpful Screen Printing Tips from Custom Logo USA. This episode I'm going to be discussing micro registration and registering your screens. Two important questions I'd say for the beginners. Lots of people start off with one colors, which are, pretty much the easiest thing that you can do when it comes to screen printing, but some people might have questions about registering more than one color. So I'm going to make that as easy as possible for you. Hopefully I answer some of your questions, alright? So, first of all, what I'd like to tell you guys is that for the easiest registration of multicolors, it all starts out with your artwork. If you're doing your artwork yourself or you're having artists do it for you, please tell them to go ahead and put targets in the very center of your design on top and bottom. They can also do it side to side. This makes things extremely easy for you, the printer. If that is on every single one of your screens, alright, when you spray out your screen, don't tape off any of the targets. Go ahead and leave them on. What I've done is I've taken our Underbase. What you want to do is either take your lightest ink on a dark garment or your darkest ink on a light garment, and go ahead and set that up, center in your palette, print it, and then flash it. Just dry it to the touch, and then bring it back. I have already done that here. I've taken, like I said, my Underbase, which is white ink, and I've taken a black shirt and I've printed it on here. If you notice on this shirt, the targets that I was talking about have been printed. Alright? So, in order to achieve registration, all I have to do is take my other screens, put them in the machine, and line up all the little targets perfectly together, clamp them down, and we're good to go. Alright? I'd like to show you on this machine right here. This machine contains micro registration. If you have an old machine, you might not have it, and you've had probably some troubles registering it. It takes a longer time. If you buy a little bit nicer machine, they offer micro registration on pretty much every one. I recommend you get them. They also have them for all the automatic presses. On this particular Hopkins press, I love this press. I grew up on one of these presses, and it's still one of my favorites to this day because it can do so much, and it's not difficult. Everything's right there in front of your face. On this head particularly, if you want to control the micro registration, we have ratchet handles that actually squeeze the head together so it doesn't move. So before we make any of our micro registration moves, we're going to have to loosen up these ratchet handles, just like so. It's not too hard. If you see, I've made a line down here with a marker on the head. Now we have a knob over here on the left side. All right, which will bring our head out if we twist it one way, or back if we twist it another. You can see that line move right there. Alright, and the same thing is offered on the other side. We can move it out, or we can move it back. Alright, and that's pretty much a pivot motion from corner to corner of the screen. There's also one more micro registration, which is a back side to side, which is over here on this knob right here. We turn it this way, and if you go back to that line there, you can see the head's moving straight across, or you can move it back the other way as well, just by an opposite turn of the knob. And just by having these nice little slight moves that we can do, you can really achieve your registration a lot quicker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clamp back down, and I'm going to give you guys an example. Alright, I'm going to take my screen, put it in my clamp. And what I'm going to do is, on this screen right here, I can see my targets right through, and I'm just going to line them up with the white targets that are already there. It takes all the guessing out of registration, and you're just going to get to where you need to be faster. And like I said before, faster is better, but quality is first. Alright, so we're going to get right in there, and I'm going to offset it a little bit on purpose. So I'm going to clamp down. Okay, if you can pan back over here with me real quick on this screen, you can see that I am off probably, I don't know, looks like maybe a little bit less than 1/4 of an inch all the way across. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to loosen up these ratchet handles one more time, and it's going to give me free flow to move this head just a little bit without having to, take a hammer to it or stupid stuff like that. Alright? So here I am. I'm going to make my micro registration move. Now if you can come over here and take a look at this star, and I'm going to move back and forth. See that? Just a littlest move. Just get you slightly right there. Slightly right there. If you go too far on one side, you can just back off and come to another. Alright? Everything looks pretty good there. Alright, and now all my targets are perfect again. Now once you are where you want to be, go ahead, keep your hand here and clamp these ratchet handles back down. You don't want any movement. No movement. I'm going to double check that again, just to make sure. And that looks great right there. If you can spend about, no more than 5 minutes on the screen per head, you're doing pretty good. I mean, gradually as you go on with experience, you will get faster, I'm sure. So I just want to throw a little bit of ink in there now. See how well we did. Now, like I said, this is just for this screen. It doesn't matter. If you can register 2 screens, you can register 20, 40 screens, even though they don't make 40 colored presses that I know of. I'm sure they're getting close to it. They've got a lot out there now. But like I said, don't be afraid of if somebody throws, like, say, a 10 color at you and your machine can handle it. Like I said, if you use this target method, you can pretty much, you can register as many as your machine can hold. Alright, get my squeegee here. Get my ink worked up. Flood in the pole. Flood in the pole. Now let's see what we got. Right on the money. Right, if you notice on here, we're lined up right there on the star, as well as our targets are lined up perfectly. Alright? And that's easy registration from Custom Logo USA. Thanks again for stopping by. I hope I answered or helped you out with some of your questions you might have in the screen printing world. Thank you very much and enjoy. Bye-bye.